Babysitting. How old are they, Katie? Y'all can go out and start working on your warm up. Got a 2-minute and a 1-minute. Oh, Candace making me yawn. It always takes Jack Brooks a long time to get in. Once I hit admit, he just sits out there and spins. There he is. Still missing all kinds of people. Maybe they had to stay late in their other classes. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Oh, I was going to show y'all. I mean, the reason why I'm wearing a hat, I know I don't always wear a hat. It looks weird, especially because it's a pink hat and I'm wearing a red shirt. But I'm going to the senior parade. They're having a parade at school today for all the seniors, and they're just going to drive by in their cars and like have whatever teachers want to come. They're going to hold up signs and blah, blah, blah. But I went to the dermatologist yesterday and they like froze these things on my head. So I've got these 2 big ugly Band-Aids and I can't stand it. I cannot look at myself in a camera with Band-Aids on my face. So I just put a hat on and this is the first one I found. All right. All right, so you got 2-minute 32 and 1-minute 40, and then go ahead and fill out your keyboarding checker so you don't have to think about it anymore. Somebody just got kicked out. Must have been Jack. Yep. Ooh. Did you come back in yet? Nope. The weather's good. My internet's been great so far all day. I guess it's just where he is. All right, while y'all are finishing up, people. There's Jackson Kinlaw or Jack Brooks. Poor Jack. Hey, Jackson. Jack, are you in here? Yep, there he is now. Maybe you'll stay. Maybe it won't kick you out again. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started. If you didn't, Jackson Kinlaw and Jack, you can do your warm-ups later and put them in. Just make sure you get them done before Sunday. Tuesday, we watched a motivational video with the old kid president. And then today, I love this video just because it helps you sort of think about spreadsheets in a different way. But we're gonna watch a video on why spreadsheets are so awesome. As soon as I see what this chat says right here. Jacob was gonna be right back. Okay.
I've been obsessed with belts for a long time. I wear a belt every day, and there was like 3 things that always drove me crazy about belts. You have all these
A little strange.
Well, before we get started, I want to take a second and talk about why I think spreadsheets are so awesome. Now, rest assured, if you are dying to dive into spreadsheets and you don't want to hear me talk about why spreadsheets are so awesome, you can safely skip this video and you're not going to miss anything essential, I promise you. So go ahead and do that if you need to. But I think spreadsheets are really, really awesome. And it's kind of a weird thing to say. It's not because I'm a huge geek, and even though I'm kind of am a geek, it's not because of that. It's actually because I actually think that spreadsheets are really awesome. They let you offload that boring administrative calculations, all that kind of really, really boring work. It lets you offload all of that to a computer, okay? And when you offload, because here's the thing, we're not really good at calculations. Human beings are not that good at doing calculations. They're certainly not good at doing calculations in their head, okay? I mean, unless you are an actual human calculator, which actually was a thing in like the 19th and early 20th century, believe it or not, that actually was a real thing. But for most normal people, we're not really good at keeping all this information in our heads. We're not good at doing calculation and math in our heads, and we're not good at organizing lots of data in our head. We're not really that great at it. Computers, on the other hand, are super, super good at that, okay? And spreadsheets in particular are one of the easiest tools that we can use to get a computer to organize stuff for us, okay? The trick is just getting through that learning curve so that you can learn how to use a spreadsheet effectively. What are we good at that computers aren't good at? We are good at creativity and imagination and all that fun stuff. And plus, that's kind of the fun stuff too, right? Like that's the stuff that we enjoy doing. So my philosophy is this: why not have a computer do all the stuff we're not good at, like the boring administrative calculation work, and use our brains for more of the fun stuff, right? Fun. Maybe not too much fun, but like all the fun kind of creativity and problem solving stuff and all that stuff that makes us human, okay? Computers cannot do that, but we can do that. And so let's focus on doing that. Now, the reason I love spreadsheets is because spreadsheets are just a great mechanism to allow us to take advantage of what computers are good at, and at the same time focus our energies as humans on the stuff that we are good at, which is imagination. And I know that sounds kind of weird, right? Because most people think of spreadsheets as being like this, this one of the most boring business applications there is, but I don't see it that way. I see spreadsheets as actually being incredibly empowering. And I really hope that by the end of this course you do too. So that's my goal. It's a very lofty goal, I admit, but I hope that you feel the same way by the end of this course. So that's it. That's the end of my lecture on why I think spreadsheets are so awesome. In the next in the next video, I'm going to talk about what you need to get started, okay, in learning.
Anyway, so that's just my little, that helps you think outside the box, that the things that we need spreadsheets for, we don't need to do all that calculation. We need to use our brains for other things. So today, you are going to be creating your own spreadsheet. So you get to do the creative part today, and then let the computer do all the calculations for you. So we have a couple of things though left. Finish up in our spreadsheet. Well, I just had it up. You can see how many spreadsheets I have open. There we go. All right, so we have 2 sheets on our slide 11. Sheet 1 we did together. And then today I'm going to show you a couple of things that we did not do in class. And so then I'm going to let you on your own create your own spreadsheet in sheet 2. So let me go back to Google Classroom real quick just to tell you exactly what I'll be looking for. So in slide 1, which is the one we did from slide 11. We're going to finalize that one today. It's already saved in your Google Drive account. Don't open a new one. And then once we finish that one today, you are going to create your own spreadsheet in sheet 2. And then in this sheet, this is what you'll need. So these are the instructions that you need. It's basically going to be just like the one that we did in slide 1. So you can clearly use sheet 1 to look back at what we've done. But this is what I need from you. I don't obviously want you to copy what we did from slide 11 and put it into yours. I want you to be creative and make something brand new. I don't care, what you make your spreadsheet on, but this is what you'll need to have in it. You'll need to have at least 4 columns of information. And then in order for you to write formulas, 2 of those columns are going to need to be numbers. So you'll need to have at least 4 columns. You will need to have 2 different functions. So you might have a sum, you might have an average, whatever. And these would not be like copy down or across functions. Like you need to have 2 different ones. You can, of course, copy them down and across, but that would only count as 1. You also need to have a relative formula. Relative just means it's like equals A1 plus D4 or equals D7 minus C3. So just a regular relative formula, one that you can copy down if you need to. Then you're also going to need to have an absolute formula, which we did on Tuesday together. So you do have the example in slide 11 from sheet 1 that you can look at. The absolute formula is the one that does not change when you copy it down. That's the one that you put the $ in front of the column and you put a $ in front of the row before you copy it, so it'll stay in the same spot. And then conditional formatting, we're about to do together on sheet 1, so I can show you how that works. And then you'll also have to put a chart in yours. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll go ahead and finish up slide 11 together right now. And then I'll let you get started on yours. Go back to sheet 1. There we are. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Get rid of that chart. Okay, so conditional formatting is something that you can do inside of your charts, and this is one right here, inside of your column, sorry, or inside of a row, just to make it sort of stand out a little bit. So instead of having to make a chart for every single thing that you do, to make it easier to read or easier to pinpoint pieces of information, you are going to use conditional formatting to make things stand out in a different way. So in this column right here, I just highlighted, if you want to highlight those with me, I highlighted D5 through D8 underneath gas right there. So let me get rid of the one I have out there. So what happens when you do a conditional format, it will, and it depends on how you want to do it. There's 2 different kinds. You can do a single color, color scales. You can do like pieces of information, like if it's not empty, color it red. If it's greater than 50, color it green. If it's less than 20, color it orange. So there's it's conditional, it's formatting your cells based off of a condition. That's why it's called conditional formatting. So like if I said, color anything in that's less than 55. Format cells less than 55, and let's say I want to make them, you can make them bold, italics, underline, or you can make them a color. And then click done. So you can see right now, this right here is less than 55. So like, let's just say your boss and then when you click on it, I'll make it go away. All you do is click on the little trash right there. So like, let's say your boss comes in and says, all right, I need to see your spreadsheet and I need to see the total spent per month. And I want you to emphasize, anybody that's over 120. all right? Or let's say 150 or greater. Let's do that because that'll give us 2 of them. So I'm going to go in right here, I've highlighted those numbers, and I go down to greater than or equal to 150. And I can make them bold, and I can make the color a red color. Done. So now your boss has the spreadsheet, and they can automatically see which months. They don't even have to look at the numbers. It automatically stands out. These 2 right here have spent, in those 2 months, we've spent over 150. It's pretty cool. And again, just to take it off, you highlight it again and hit your little trash can. There's other ones too. I'm going to show you a couple more. I'm going to highlight all the numbers for food. And normally what you do is, with this box is not up, you go to format and conditional formatting is where you find it right there. This one I'm going to do a color scale. So it's going to make, I'm going to change the color. It automatically came up to green. But it's going to do make the minimum value a number percent. You can pick which one you want. You can have it at a certain midpoint, however you want to do it, max point, max value. So this one set on minimum value, and so I click done. So the minimum value is the darkest, the middle ones are lighter, and the highest value doesn't have any color on it. So I like color scales the best. They're my favorite. So that's what conditional formatting is. It's just a way of making your cells stand out in a certain order. But you have 2 different types, single or scales. But I don't know, it's kind of cool. And you can do more than one. You can have 2 different ones inside one cell, one column. And you can do rows too. It doesn't have to be just a column. You can do a row of information as well. But anytime you get back to it, you just go to conditional formatting. All right, so the last thing we're going to do before I move on and let you guys work on your own, I am going to just make one more quick chart so you can see one more time how to do it. This time I'm going to do months, and I wanted to show you just a different way. I'm going to do the 4 months, and then I also want to do the total spent per month, but it's way over here in this column, and it's not right beside it. So I don't want all this information in here. I just want the total. So real quick, I was going to show you, once you highlight the first piece of information that you want, if you want a different column that's not right beside it, then you hold Control and then click on your second column. Then it'll let you do 2 columns that aren't side by side. Because I know a lot of times when you make charts, you don't necessarily want to use the thing that's right next to it. You may want something else. So that's just a different way to make a chart. So I wanted to show you how to do that too. So you can see for each month, this is the total spend. And you can go back in, add a chart, a chart title, things like that under your editor. All right, so again, don't copy what I have. I want you to make your own creative spreadsheet. And again, I don't care what it is. The hardest part is going to be figuring out what you want to do it on. But again, just remember you need at least 2 columns of numbers. So that way you can write some formulas. You need to have at least 2 different, take that off, at least 2 different functions. So like how we have here, we have an average and a minimum and a max on those. We have a sum function here, a sum function down here. This one right here is a formula, but we changed that to an absolute. So it was a relative formula, and then we changed it to an absolute formula, and you can see in here we've got, here I do my control squiggly. We've got the dollar signs here in front of D and 3 to make that 200 stay in the same spot. So that would be what you would need for an absolute formula, something that you are going to use that's not going to copy down. All right, anybody got any questions before I let you go? We've got like 30 minutes. So y'all should be able to make this cute little spreadsheet in 30 minutes and get all those things in there. And then that way you don't have to worry about it anymore this weekend and you can go ahead and turn it in. All right, so I'll be here if you want, me to help you with anything. But again, you've got this sheet 1 to look at. And so everything you need should be in there if you want to look over it and get some ideas. But try to be as creative as you can. Again, I don't care what it's about. And you're going to make it in sheet 2 right beside it, okay? All right, any questions before you get started? You can do something completely random, Alex. So again, like I said, the hardest part is trying to figure out what you're going to do. Once you figure that part out, then y'all know how to write formulas and functions and make a chart. Y'all be fine. All right. On your mark, get set, go. I'll let y'all work. And I have all y'all's open too, so I mean, if you want me to check them, look over if I can. Let me know. Abby, my office hours are 12 to 1. Hibachi, I can look at yours right now if you want me to look at it before you turn it in. All right, Hibachi, it looks good. I mean, all your stuff looks good, but you still got, make sure you go back to Google Classroom and look at all the things I've asked for. You've still got to do conditional formatting, and you need to add a chart. And I don't see those, are not popping up. So I'm gonna return it back to you so you can put those in real quick. And you can do conditional formatting like on a row. Since you have your set up in rows like that, you can do your conditional formats like that if you want to. I'm gonna send it back to you. Yeah, Alex, that's what I was just telling about you. You can do conditional formatting on a row. It doesn't have to be a column. Hibachi, that's the one we just did. That was the one thing I just showed you from sheet 1 where we colored in the column. We went to format, conditional formatting. That was the one thing that we had to finish on sheet 1 before we moved on. Yeah, so make sure before you turn it in, go back to Google Classroom and look on the wall and make sure you've got everything out there that I asked for. A chart. Hibachi. That was the other thing.
It won't let me delete a chart because I made a chart and then I messed it up and I couldn't delete it, so I just like shrunk it and moved it somewhere else, and now I can't delete this one because it's messed up too.
No, just click on it. All you gotta do is click on the chart and then hit delete on your keyboard, and they go right away. Yeah, just click, Jackson, just like on the outside, on the like the border around it. And then once you click on it and it's highlighted, just hit delete. Just right there on your keyboard. Yes, you have to have a chart. Y'all have about 5 minutes. If y'all are done and you've already turned it in, y'all are good to go. Everybody else, y'all can keep working, so hopefully you can get it done and you won't have to do anything over the weekends. Yes. About 3 minutes left. Alex's is amazing. I can't wait to see it. All right, we got about 1 minute left. If y'all have any questions, let me know. If not, you can go back and watch our video from Tuesday to see how we set up sheet 1. And you can look at the beginning of this video for conditional formatting if you need it. And just make sure you get everything turned in by Sunday night. Y'all have a great long weekend. Peace out.